What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. It's May 31st, and the NBA Finals starts tomorrow. Man, it is going to be an exciting one. I have a feeling about it. I think this one's going to go crazy. This NBA playoffs this year has been one of the best playoffs I've watched. I mean, that's hard to say, though. That's hard to say. There's been some great NBA playoff runs at that we had seen in the past. But reason I say this, is because we saw a lot of unexpected outcomes, right? We saw a lot of things. People get exposed. Either team that wasn't supposed to win won. I mean, we already know what team I'm talking about, which is the Miami Heat. But that's not the case for the Denver Nuggets, right? They're on paper 1,000 times better than the Miami Heat, number wise, if you look at it on paper. But yeah, so nobody had expected the Miami Heat to become Eastern Conference champions, right? I can't say the same thing about the Denver Nuggets. My co-star, AK, did predict the Denver Nuggets to go to the NBA Finals and winning at that too. So I'm going to be looking out for that. But I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for some more people to hop on the panel and say they just dudes. Hop on here. We can probably get a debate or so. But yeah, man. So who is going to win the finals? Actually, let me bring this up too, because this is the schedule for the games, right? They already got it laid out. I mean, it's no mystery in case these games do pass 4 games, which I do believe it could pass 4 games. But yeah, the layout's right here, man. First game, you already know, is tomorrow, June 1st, 8:30 Eastern time. Next game is going to be on Sunday, so that's a good little period, to get these guys back in shape for the next game. Because we know Denver Nuggets, they've been big chilling. They've been in Cancun. Now they had the opportunity to come back, right? And here you go. I got Rose Gold on the panel. What's up?
What's up, Cuzzo?
Not much, man. I'm just getting in the spiel. Talking about the games and their dates. Just I was just chatting for real. By the way, if you guys are tuning in, like and subscribe to Cash Media, man. Show some love. Giving a like is free. But yeah, since you on here, I just want to quickly give you the opportunity to speak because I know your time is spotty. So let me let you do your thing.
All right. So what we talking about? What the finals matchup?
Well, let's say it like this, right? Because I did start off like this, and I was speaking about the NBA finals the NBA playoffs in general. I was kind of summing it up, giving a summary, and just saying how this was probably one of the best playoffs I've seen since I've been watching basketball. With the Miami Heat being the 8th seed and just kind of being that Cinderella team because they were literally underdogs in every single round. Like, I feel like in this situation, it's very easy to pick the Denver Nuggets, but I don't know what to expect. Like, it's like you can expect the Nuggets to win, but at the end of the day,
the way the Heat's been playing, you can't count the Heat out pretty much.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So you can feed off that. You can speak on whatever you feel whatever observations you might want to state. But how do you feel about this year's playoffs? Let's start with that, and then you can.
All right. So yeah,
Mm.
a lot of injuries, nonetheless. But that injury
With the territory.
injuries is part of the game, so that'll happen. So I
Mm.
can't really cherry pick that. But
Mm. No, I didn't say anything.
okay. Yeah. So so you can't really cherry pick that, and like we can't. Injuries will happen. It's a part of the game. So outside of that, this has been one of the most entertaining playoffs in a while. Very competitive. Very storybook, like with the Cinderella story, like you said, like as far as the Miami Heat are concerned. So it's definitely been worth the watch.
Mm.
As far as like the matchup is concerned, that's not a likely matchup that I'm pretty sure, basketball world would want. Nobody. I'm not gonna say nobody wants to see Miami versus Denver, but I can promise you, outside of people that live in Miami and Denver, there are not really too many fans that would prefer to see that rather than a Los Angeles Boston finals, right? But for the most part, very entertaining. A lot of sleeper teams, a lot of underwhelming teams. So it just basically we have a lot to look forward to next couple playoffs as well. It goes beyond just this playoffs. You can tell that next couple we're gonna have some parity. Where it's gonna be pretty much, top teams will always be the top teams, but who will come out on top is always gonna be the mysterious question now. It's more parity. I feel like it's a lot more even around the league. But I'm just to, since I'm talking about the league, I'm kind of excited about this playoffs, but I'm really excited for the off season because I already know just the way the playoffs went and turned out, like the Suns and all these coaching changes. I could only imagine how crazy the free agency is going to be this summer. So that's pretty much what I'm really, really excited for now since my team is out. But it's definitely been entertaining. But I'll tip it off to all season. This whole season has been entertaining. The commissioner Adam Silver, he's done a terrific job. Adding the play-in, and since the play-in has been so successful, I'm willing to now give that other tournament, that mid-season tournament next season. I'm willing to give that a fair shot and see what that's about since the play-in has been so successful. But that's pretty much all I got right now. So
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing about this whole thing too, is that Miami Heat was a playing team, right? They're the first team from ever, from the play-in to make it all the way to the finals. And mind you, they got blown out by the Atlanta Hawks, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's the thing about this series, or with Miami Heat in general. That hasn't been the case for majority of this postseason, right? So, clearly things have been working out in their favor. They've been hitting their shots, and then that's the reason why they're in this situation to begin with. But to see, the elevation in play, the team camaraderie, looking at the way Caleb Martin elevated his game, tenfold in the Eastern Conference, in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? And then even with Gabe Vincent even popping up here and there and doing his dirty work, so I'm not trying to give Miami more respect than the Nuggets, because I can talk about the Nuggets also and how this team has definitely grew, into the team they are now, because this was progress, with the Denver Nuggets. This was definitely progress in the making. Like, even though I let AK and Will kind of do all the talking for the Nuggets, but I mean, I never forgot about those times, like before Jamal Murray was injured. Like, the Denver Nuggets were a top 3 seed in the West every year. They were always competing for a championship. Like, nobody forgot that. You know what I mean? Like, they were always in position to be competitive. It's just the fact that in the past year or so, Jamal Murray got hurt. And so that's what, contributed to the Denver Nuggets success last season. But now this is a different year. We're seeing the Denver Nuggets have been healthy all year, that's probably like one of the best things. That's one of the best, the biggest blessings on their side, right? As opposed to the Miami Heat, who still got there, or who still got here riddled with injuries, right? And then you got Jamal Murray, who's doing his thing. And I love the fact that Jamal Murray is honestly balling. It's a good thing to see him, doing the things that he's doing. And I wouldn't be surprised if he were to win, Finals MVP. But getting into the matchup though, because this is a very interesting matchup between these two teams, and I want to hear your observation on it before I get into mine.
All right. So as far as the matchup is concerned, obviously, in just plain sight, just off the simple fact that Miami's a play-in team, making it this far, nobody really expected that. So with that being said, clearly Denver Nuggets, top to bottom, is a better team. I wouldn't say a better organization, but as far as like team is concerned, player 1 through 15, they're obviously more, a better team, top to bottom.
Yeah.
So, but I would definitely always have to give Jimmy Butler and Miami Heat, because they're a first-class organization. They're always going to compete. They're always going to play hard. They're always going to take it one game at a time. You're never going to, know what's their best, because, they can always surprise you. So, they're a team that you can't sleep on, plain and simple. If the Nuggets are thinking, oh, this is going to be a cakewalk and they got the finals already in the bag, they definitely got another thing coming, because the second you sleep on your opponent, it's the same second they could turn around and destroy you. So let's just hope Denver doesn't play with their competition very seriously, because at the end of the day, like you said, they still made it all the way to the finals. And, in order to do that, you have to on all cylinders. You know what I'm saying? So they are clicking on all cylinders. They have a great coach. They have a great, organization. They have a great team leader in Jimmy Butler. But we just got to see if they got enough in the tank to do it for one more series. You know what I'm saying? If they got enough to – they just came out of a dogfight. Let's be honest. Like, 7-game series. Denver's been resting for like a week, 2 weeks, so they're gonna be well rested. So, if
and they could have been rested too. That's the funny thing about it.
Their best bet is to come out today on fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they could take advantage of a little possible rust from Denver. But outside of that, I don't know. Like if I had to pick a team to take it, I would obviously pick Denver, I was a bet again. But my heart is telling me that I actually want Miami to win. So I'm rooting for Miami. Yeah. But logically, I just feel like it would make more sense for me to just say, Denver's gonna win this, and I would say 6 games, 5 or 6 games. But it's gonna be hopefully a very competitive 5 or 6 games.
I got you. Now, you said a lot. You said a lot of things there to unwrap though. Now, I agreed in my Discord with Will when he said if the Nuggets were to win, it'll probably be in 6 games. I can see Miami winning at least 2 games in this series, and then obviously that wild card game is going to be a 3rd game. To see if they can be battle tested enough. Well, I mean, they are, but I don't even say it like that. But to see if they can pull one through and then bring it to game 7, right? So I would say that if Miami were to win this series, they would obviously have to do it in 7 games, right? So now,
or they would have to do it in like if it's 6 or if it's 7 for me, because they won like a 3-0 Like, you know what I mean? They smacked Denver in the face, starting it up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, much like how they did with Boston.
Yeah.
God, sorry.
No, I agree. But I mean, and that's another point that I'm going to get to also, is that given the games and given the schedule, because obviously the Nuggets are the number one seed in this situation. So they're going to have home court advantage clearly. Right. So, I mean, but even then, Denver Nuggets or teams that had as much rest as the Nuggets have before the finals and then going into that first game and in the series, they have winning records. So Miami Heat just got, like you said, off of a grudge match. They're the lower ranked team, and they have to play their biggest series in a couple games as opposed to the Denver Nuggets playing over 10 days ago. Right. So getting into the matchup though, because obviously this is the most important thing that we're gonna have to pay attention to as we watch this game. And I'm going to start with the biggest matchup that I think is going to be very key in this game. Obviously, it's going to be Bam and Nikola Jokic, right? Because I don't think there's any argument to say that Nikola Jokic isn't the best player on the court. Like, if I can rephrase it, Nikola Jokic is going to be the best player on the court in this series, right? I don't think there's anything to really even consider. And he has a chance to finish it through, win the series and then claim that title to be the best player in the league. Right. So I gotta give that much. But I'm not expecting Bam to shut down Nikola Jokic. I'm not expecting that. But I do think that the Miami Heat are one of the best zone, have one of the best zone defenses in the league. So obviously it's gonna have to come down to how they execute that, for to have the outcome that they want. Right. But I think it's very important to see how they execute, because if you Denver Nuggets, to do whatever they want, at the perimeter, right? Like, I would absolutely not want to leave MPJ open, to go help Nikola Jokic, because he knows he's going to dish that out almost every time, right? My MPJ has his effective shooting percentage, field goal percentage, like 80%. That means he's basically saying, like, if he's open, he's gonna make it. Right? So you can't leave MPJ open. You obviously can't leave Jamal Murray open. KCP can knock down his shots if he's open, right? He's a good shooter this year for the whole season. So it's not just what we've seen recently. So really the only person you can leave open in their starting lineup is Aaron Gordon. And even then, that's still a toss-up, but I would still have him, shoot as many threes as possible over these other guys. Right? Now, with Nikola Jokic and Bam, Bam hasn't been too bad of a player against this team. The only problem is, obviously the Denver Nuggets are just they're better. They're better offensively, and they haven't beaten the Denver Nuggets since 2020. Right? Since 2020, Miami Heat hasn't beaten the Denver Nuggets. But yet again, just to remind everybody, they only face each other twice a year, right? Because two East and West teams, or one West, one East team, and then they barely even really play each other, right? And then another matchup that we do have to talk about is Jimmy Butler and Jamal Murray, right? The other two guys that are very integral to this offense and defense. Now, we know Jamal Murray is not the key defensive player. The Denver Nuggets can probably throw a multitude of guys at Jimmy Butler because you still have, to a degree, you still have Jeff Green, right? He's a little bit on the older side, but he can still do a thing or two. And Bruce Brown coming off the bench, he's not a horrible defender. Actually, I think he's a good defender or a decent defender.
You got to understand, they have KCP. They still got MPJ. They got a lot of bodies they could throw at Jimmy Butler. A lot.
They do. But the thing about it is, though, what makes Miami such a dangerous team isn't just because of Jimmy Butler. It's because it's really these role players that grew in the moment, right? We've seen Duncan Robinson play shitty all year, and out of nowhere now he's draining every 3-point shot he can make. right? We're seeing Caleb Martin, who was just an undrafted rookie last year, coming to his own, right? And then even with Gabe Vincent, he's coming up in big games. He's not bringing it every single game, but he's at least, dishing the ball out, playmaker. He's helping run the offense. He's not going for the majority of his game, he's at least getting 5 assists. And he's also a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
So, when we look at this, and then this is also to add the fact that they're also missing Victor Oladipo and Tyler Hero for at least the first 2 games. Miami Heat is not expected to have Tyler Hero at least till game 3. So going to this now, if Miami were to win this series, they would have to win one of these games on the road. I firmly believe that. I think Miami, in order for them to keep that, keep some type of momentum into the final, they have to steal at least one of these games, because I think Denver.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost mandatory. Yeah.
Because I feel like with Denver, I feel like they're way too good of a team for you to try to come back on two games, because defense, even though the Denver Nuggets aren't, they're not that, they're not a defensive powerhouse team, but they're not exactly some of these teams out in the East, right? Offensively speaking, they're outrageous. They're exceptional. This is the best you'll see an offense play in any situation, right? But I was watching something on TV yesterday, and then Rui Hachimura had done a post-game interview, and one of the things he said was, they don't have a rim protector. They don't have a rim protector, right? Now, I spoke on that last series. I was expecting the Lakers, to have that mentality, to have that mindset to just keep attacking the rim, but Denver does have size. They do, they were putting in a lot of effort on the defensive end. They're not exactly shutting people down, but that effort can go a long way. It's enough. It's enough. Right? So, but this is what Miami does.
Yep.
This is what Miami does, right? They go to the rim. Jimmy Butler goes to the rim. Bam goes to the rim. You know what I'm saying? Like Gabe Vincent, all these guys on this team, they attack the rim. They don't win because of the 3-point shot. If the 3-point shot is falling, then you're in trouble against the Miami Heat. You're in trouble if they're knocking down their threes. But that's what they do. So, yet again, right, we come back to this point. And this is the moment that I've been talking about all year when it's come to Jokic. I don't doubt what he's going to do offensively. I know what he's going to do offensively. He's going to put up his numbers. All superstars in this situation, more times than not, they're going to put up their numbers, right? But in order for the Denver Nuggets, to really stop this team, they're going to have to protect that paint. Because I feel like in this situation, I feel like they're going to make that adjustment very early. And then at that point, it's all about, where it goes from there and see how it goes. So I know I was talking for a while. Hey, man, if y'all tuning in, like and subscribe. But let me know what you think, Pedro.
Definitely like and subscribe, everybody. Support, show some love. Cash Sports, we working. But yeah, I agree, man. Just to piggyback off what you were saying, if Miami starts to hit threes, Denver's definitely in trouble. But Denver also is a team that can hit the three.
Mm-hmm.
So, Miami has to make sure that they're locked in on all cylinders. I feel like when you go against Denver, you have to play a perfect game, bro.
Yeah.
You have to play a perfect basketball game in order to put Denver, keep Denver on their heels.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're so with Joker being as big and as dominant as he is, and doing as much as he does at his position and at his size, it's almost impossible to kind of stop Denver if they're making shots. Because Joker, he can facilitate so well. You can easily find an open shooter. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just feel like, Bam is just like, he's been very inconsistent throughout these playoffs, right?
Yeah. Agree.
But, again, Jimmy Butler is a player that can, attack. And who knows, if Denver could get in foul trouble in one of these first two games, all Miami have to do is just taste some blood. And I feel like they're the type of team that could take advantage. You know what I mean? They're very good at X and O. Coach Spoelstra, Eric Spoelstra, he's very good at the X's and O's and stuff like that. He's making the proper, adjustments. So, it's hard for me to really beat Miami because, like being a LeBron fan, I've watched a lot of Miami growing up. So, I'm always going to have like a soft spot for them.
Yeah.
But like, I just in all reality, I just know like Denver's just so built and they're just so locked in right now. Like you could just tell top to bottom, they're locked in right now. They're locked. So I was definitely gonna be entertaining. So I have to really give my real true analysis after game one, pretty much after the first game. Like so I can see just to see how the matchup looks.
No, I got you.
But as of right now, right now, I want to say Miami. This is their best chance to like steal a game. It's game one.
Yeah, I would say rather than this, I would definitely say this first game is more important than the second. Over
100%.
Now, obviously, if Miami loses this first game, then obviously the second game is going to be even more important. But I feel like that first game,
exactly.
That's the tone setter. Like I feel like, or I think that Miami can win if they play. I mean, each team can win if they play their game. They have to get the other team to play their game, right? I feel like if Denver comes in and they're trying to shoot threes and they're knocking these shots, Miami's not going to be able to trade threes with them on a consistent basis. Not in that way. But if Miami can have them play their game a little more so of a slower paced game, cut some of those possessions that that the Denver Nuggets tend to have.
Miami needs to try their best to keep Denver points as much as they can. Miami is not going to be able to score 130, 120, 110 points each game, like how Denver can. Because, Denver being in the West, they're a high-velocity team. They're going to score a lot of points. Yeah. And then with, the East Coast teams, we usually play a slower pace of game, where it's like 90 points, 80 points, 70 points. You know what I'm saying? Like
finishing at the rim.
Huh?
No, I was saying finishing at the rim. Like I feel you. Like West Coast is like more 3-point shoot. East Coast is like more finishing at the rim.
We have to basically they have to force Denver to play that way. They have to force Denver to play very slow. They have to make Joker back to the basket. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that instead of like
slow the time down. I'll give you that too. But now like it gives. No. I was saying slow the game down. Let Jokic if you don't let Jokic score, let him score that too. But like it's not 3 points.
Exactly. They need to slow it down tremendously though.
Yeah, it's exactly. So, but I mean, hey, we gonna see though. I mean, I feel like but Bam is definitely gonna have he's gonna have a lot on his hands, man. And we did speak about this. We said, Miami doesn't have a true big man. And I think that's going to be, that's obviously going to be a problem. But like I said, man, Miami's been one of the best zone defensive teams, one of the best.
They're the best team at making their weakness their advantage. You know what I'm saying? So if they could make if they could make that the fact that they're super small an advantage, that'll be a benefit for them, in some way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're not going to be able to outrun Denver, but they have to be able to do something,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And then even if they're keeping up, if they're trying to do fast breaks or quicken the pace, sometimes you're gonna have to have Miami. Sometimes gonna have to match that tone and respond.
Yeah, they
back.
are. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's gonna be very exciting. When I said,
now, can I ask you something though?
What's up?
How likely do you think Oladipo or Tyler Herro comes back this series?
I don't think Oladipo comes back. I think he's done.
Okay.
Because he tore something, so I don't see him coming back. Tyler Herro, it's been repeated that he's cleared for practice. I don't think he's playing contact. I don't think he's doing anything with contact though. But I saw news that he did plan on being back. That third game. So that first game at home.
Okay. Now, if you're Miami, do you try to bring Oladipo back?
Only if he can come back. Oh, you talking about like in the offseason?
Yeah, in the offseason.
I would still bring Oladipo back, man. I mean, from what I saw, Oladipo's like he's a player that fits good in this system. And honestly, I feel like
he plays really well for them.
And honestly, I feel like not having him during this playoff run did hurt. Like I feel like in this, like honestly, like even though this is Miami's an AFC team, I mean they've been hit with injuries, but I've always felt like Miami was still a team that you had to look at and consider. I feel like Miami, the only time I think besides the Knicks, because I really think the Knicks, I really think before during the season they would still like kind of beat the Knicks, but there was a reason why we had them, losing to the Bucks, because of how they played throughout the year. They just weren't, on paper, they just weren't better than the Bucks, but they had experience going against the Bucks. They played against the Bucks in these kind of situations, so they have experience.
After years, the Bucks, I would say the Bucks have pretty much, they played the Bucks a lot of times. Like this, because they met the Bucks in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, Eastern Conference Finals, I think twice.
Yeah.
Prior to the season. So, but like that just goes to show you, Miami, like Jimmy Butler in Miami accomplished a lot in his Miami tenure.
Yeah. They played against tough comp.
Yeah.
And I think that, that's where we really got to look at the situation and say, like, hey, we got to get, we don't know. We don't know, bro. And I think I was getting to another point. I kind of went off topic a little bit. But when you have these guys back, like, with Herro and Oladipo, because I think Oladipo would have given them some depth on the defensive end of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball. That can help, because you already know Jimmy Butler is going to try to take some responsibility in trying to contain Murray. Now, having Victor Oladipo, now, obviously, he's not like, being, I don't think he's going to have like a shitty series, but Jamal Murray's definitely going to have like maybe 1 or 2 games where he didn't shoot all that well. You know what I mean? Like he's going to have some times where he didn't go crazy. And that's going to be, and if you can at least stop the other 4 and let Jokic do what he needs to do, I think that there could be, you can get the outcome that you're looking for. But they don't have Oladipo, right? And they don't have Martin. I mean, they don't have Herro for the first 2 games. So that's why I say, they have to win one of these games on the road now. Get out the way now. At least you're going to have, you're going to bring back some more shooting, because that's what Tyler Herro brings. Is more shooting. And that's what they need, right? Even though they've been playing well, they've been shooting well from the 3 this postseason. They've been shooting 43% from 3 in this postseason, and they were one of the worst shooting teams all season. So getting Tyler Hero back would be huge for this team, and stealing one in Denver would be even better. But I mean, we already know how disciplined the Denver Nuggets are. They're not like the Celtics. They're better coached. They're more disciplined. They know how to play better as a team, right? So this is a tougher challenge. This is certainly a tougher challenge. And even with the Bucks, right? They were making a lot of mistakes in those games that they could have won, right? It went from top to bottom, from coaching, from Giannis, even from the role players, right? But obviously, key thing is, or the key things, the key players from each team is obviously going to be Jimmy Butler and Nikola Jokic. And that's going to be the story moving forward. And then everything comes right after.
What you said?
No, I said, and then everything comes right after. Like I said, the main things, the most important things to take away from this series are Jimmy Butler and Nikola Jokic, and then everything else falls into that.
So, do you think Jimmy Butler is a superstar? Like after what he's done and shown improved this season, like would you consider him a superstar now?
I consider
before this season he wasn't really a superstar.
I consider Jimmy Butler a Hall of Famer. I think that's better to say than to say a superstar.
What?
I would say that he's a Hall of Famer.
He's a what?
Hall of Famer.
Oh, Hall of Famer. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's better to say than to say a superstar, because when you think about superstar, like superstar comes with a lot of cachet. And Jimmy Butler fits the bill on 90% of those bulletin points. But it's just he's not like what we see now in the playoffs isn't what we see in the regular season. Now, if we want it, but I'm a person that I would rather take that size sample from the playoffs rather than the postseason, right? So if we had to look at this objectively and actually had to have a logical and reasonable conversation about this, to be honest, Jimmy Butler is a superstar.
That's what I'm saying. I was going to say he's a superstar. Got it.
But it's just that I never thought about it, so I think talking about it out loud.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to have that conversation outside of like this season. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at it, I mean, 2 finals, 4 years. He went to a couple Eastern Conference finals. Like that dude is a superstar, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Joker's first finals. This is Jimmy Butler's second go around at this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the reason why, I would have to flip the script on that is because, like, bro, when you're in the playoffs, you're playing against the best of the best.
Yeah.
You're playing against the best of the best, quite literally. You know what I mean? Like you're putting out your best against teams that played best all year and deserve the right to be in the position to go against you. Like, bro, look at if you can look at it. Look at what I got up on the screen right now. I'm about to read it off though. Right? Jimmy Butler this year in the postseason is first in clutch points, first in steal, and first in ISO points.
Wow.
In this entire postseason over everybody.
That's superstar. I mean, that was a superstar in statistics.
Yeah.
Like he's not a high volume scorer, a great facilitator, a great rebounder, but he is a great defender.
But he does all those things though.
He does all those things, and he's an excellent defender at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on top of that, he has that killer instinct that you see in players like, Jordan, Kobe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Things that they would say like LeBron lack and stuff like that. Like he has that killer instinct.
Yeah.
Where, it's clutch time. Like he wants the ball in his hands. There's no question.
Yeah.
He makes a lot of things happen in the fourth quarter. Like he'll score 9 points for 3 quarters, and then go off for like 22 points and finish the game with like 31, 32 points.
Yeah. Have like 10 free
He's one of those players. He's one of those players, bro.
Nah, he is. He is for sure. Like, and the thing about, and even then though, like with Jimmy Butler scoring, like he can give you 20 easy, bro. Yeah, like honestly speaking, he can give you 20 easy. I mean, you seen in this course.
Like now, but now let me ask you a 2-part question.
Okay.
If Joker wins the championship, where do you rank him? And like of all time, like right now, like you know, all the players active right now, like where do you rank them? And if he loses, where do you rank him?
I would.
You heard me?
Yeah, no, I'm listening.
Go ahead.
I think he would be. I think he because they just asked this question on TV too. I think he would be above. I think he would be over KG. I think he would be. I think he would be above Dirk. But I would feel more confident to say that, you know, when he wins. You know, when he's a little bit more past his prime, because I think that's when the evidence there'll be more evidence to present in that situation.
I mean, I guess statistically, he's already better than both those players. But you're talking about resume-wise, practically, right?
Yeah. I'm speaking in a matter of perception. I'm speaking in a matter.
And I didn't really mean all time. I mean like right now. Like where do you rank them? Like like Giannis, Durant. Because like all time, it's hard to say that until like he actually starts winning and stuff like that.
I'm a proponent. Hey, bro, I'm a proponent to say, hey, you got the title until you get knocked off. You feel me? You got the title until you get knocked off. You feel me? That's the way I look at it.
So prior to this year, who's your best player right now? Prior to this,
well, prior to the season, if I said Giannis was the best player.
Okay.
You know, and I felt that was based off his play, you know, the outcome and the success that came with him. And obviously the other thing like MVP, accolade, all that stuff, the championship. Like Giannis already had the resume of a Hall of Famer, of a certified Hall of Famer. You know, and you were gonna get those 30-point games, you know, him averaging 30, those double doubles, you know, like you were gonna get big numbers from Giannis, right? I wasn't seeing any fall off. Really, the only thing that would prevent Giannis from doing what he usually does is him getting injured. So speaking in this matter, or answering your question, I would say it would put him over. It would put him over Giannis. I would say that, because I have to keep the same energy, with Giannis. The same energy was thrown at Giannis. He can't be the best until you win it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That's why I asked that question. That's exactly why I asked that question.
It's the same thing, bro. Two MVPs, one chip. I'll let other people, do the nitpicking, be like, oh, Giannis has a defensive player of the year. It's fluid, bro. You feel me? It's fluid. You go into the season, and then he's still the champ. The Nuggets are still the champions until they get knocked off. You know what I mean? And so that's why when I had this conversation with Josh earlier, and he was like, oh, Giannis can't be the best player in the world after this. And I was like, yeah, that's reasonable.
He just swept.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't they didn't get swept. It was 4-1.
If Jimmy wins the chip, is he the best in the world right now?
Nah.
Because I see that. Like somebody said, Ticket TV said if Jimmy wins this year, he's the best player in the league right now.
Nah, I can't say that, bro.
But and he
No.
also said if he wins this year, we got to start looking at Jimmy Butler to like start winning MVPs and all NBAs, but because of his defensive stats, because like people a lot of times, bro, they get all of these triple doubles, high volume scorers, and you know what I mean. But when it's all said and done, players like Jimmy Butler, statistical, numbers like that, and that's affecting their contract and their legacy too, bro. Because we're looking at Jimmy Butler, a guy that made it to 2 finals, like 2 Eastern Conference Finals as well, like 3 or 4 Eastern Conference, and we to have a conversation and be like, "Oh, is he a superstar?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But he played superstar. He played a superstar.
Changing up here a little bit. Some of these.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like if Jimmy Butler does, I feel like Jimmy Butler is changing the narrative. But that's the thing about it when we talk about like MVPs and stuff, like the output for Jimmy isn't the same as it is in the playoffs. But that's what makes this even more controversial of a question. You know what I mean? Because like you're not going to see Jimmy Butler try to score 28 points in an 82 game season because he knows the stakes isn't that high for him to be playing like that. Even Draymond said stuff like Jimmy Butler's a 16 game player. He's a 16 game player. So, but in the awards, like and the thing about it is though, he still got second team All NBA, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did, All NBA player. Yeah, so he could still get paid, and he deserves to be there though too. But I think as far as that, I think that's the best acknowledgement he'll get in the regular season. Is an All NBA. Unless it's like the clutch player award.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because they have that award now, right?
Huh? Yeah.
They have that award, right?
Huh?
What is that? What they have the clutch player award already?
Yeah. You know who won?
Who?
De'Aaron Fox.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they had that award.
Yeah. No, we talked about it. It was we made a video a long time ago. Remember the same time when I talked about the mid-season tournament, the same time I talked about those.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's next season.
No, this was the mid-season tournament is next year, but the awards were still giving out this year.
Yeah. Just like
Yeah.
Because that came out when they MVP and the West Conference MVP.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because Jimmy Butler won the.
He won the Larry Bird Award.
The Larry Bird. And then who won the Magic Johnson? Joker, obviously, right?
Yeah, Joker. And then people were trying to say
it should have been Jamal Murray, but people were trying to say Caleb Martin, but I really feel like Jamal Murray should have won the one in the West.
The way I look at this, right? The way I look at the Larry Bird and the Magic Johnson Award. See, people try to like squish it into one series. I don't think those awards should be based off what you did in this most recent series. I think it should be summed up from the first round to the playoffs up to the point where you won the conference, bro.
What is
no, because people that's what I thought, but people are implying Caleb Martin because of how he played in this series.
No. No, that's what people are implying, but I think it is based on like the first couple rounds though. Yeah, but that's people. People just want to have a conversation.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's how it should be looked at. You should the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson Award should be based off your performance throughout that whole postseason up until the playoffs. That would be more credible than just be like, oh yeah, we gave Caleb Martin because he was going crazy in that last series. You know what I mean? Like, then you're neglecting the other, you're neglecting the first 2 rounds. Because Jimmy Butler was playing out of his mind those first 2 rounds. But don't get me wrong, man. Caleb Martin played. He's playing out of his mind, bro. Love to see it. You know, we could see in this situation. We could probably see Lakers versus Pistons thing going on here. But except Miami, we don't got that type of. They don't have no Ben Wallace or no Rasheed Wallace. You know, they got Bam, which is still Bam, and Bam is still a great defender. You know what I mean? Bam is still a really good defender. It's just, there's still a size factor here with Jimmy, with Bam against Jokic. And I think that's going to be a problem with rebounds. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adjust from that, though, too. But, and I know I've been talking about Miami a lot, but honestly, I feel like, with Denver, I feel like they're an open book, man. Like I feel like it's like, how they're going to come. But can you stop it?
That's the big question right there, man.
Yeah, really. That's how I sum up the Nuggets. It's like how they're gonna come, bro. You know it. You just have to stop them because that's their cachet, is their offense. Their offense.
Mm-hmm.
They would have to quite literally stop them from scoring. And it's going to be a difficult task, man, because seeing Jamal Murray come into his own, MPJ draining threes, right? KCP even now and then draining threes. Bruce Brown giving valuable minutes off the bench. Like, Denver Nuggets quite literally have a championship formula. They have it. They have the championship formula. But, I feel like they're in this postseason, they have been a better defensive team than they have been in the regular season. But that's why I say, it all points to, Jokic being a rim protector. Can he rim protect? And I feel like if the Denver Nuggets start to key off on Jimmy Butler to try to make sure he doesn't get his points, honestly, I feel like that's almost the same thing as trying to double Murray. I mean, trying to double Jokic. If the Denver Nuggets try to contain Jimmy Butler by stuffing him and double teaming him, I don't think that's going to work in their favor, to be honest. Because I feel like those are the same mistakes that other teams have made. And that's why these other guys have been able to do their thing also.
Yeah.
Because we've seen Jimmy Butler adjust. And even though Jimmy Butler can put up points, he knows how to take a step back and let other guys do their thing. It's not at the level of Jokic on a consistent basis. His game isn't to score. His game doesn't resemble Jokic's. He's not a big man. But Jimmy Butler knows how to get into flow of the game. He doesn't try to force shots that he knows he's not going to take. He doesn't try to create. He doesn't try to mess up the flow of the offense. He has a lot of trust in his guys. Like, I feel like when it comes down to the mental aspect of both teams, I would give it neck and neck. I would have it neck and neck. I think you have a decent argument to say that Miami Heat just might be a little bit more experienced, maybe have a little bit more grit, just because of their background and their culture and what they do and how they apply themselves and how all this has led them up to this single moment. I feel like you can make that argument. But I feel like what I just talked about, right? What I just when it comes to the mental aspect of the game, whoever wins that war is going to win this series. It's not going to be based off the court. It's not going to be. I mean, obviously, a play is going to have a lot. That's going to be a huge factor in it. But it's also it's going to be a chess match. It's going to be a chess match for sure.
Battle of the coaches.
Yeah, man. Honestly, yeah, you're right. I feel like this is where we're gonna see coaching on full guys, full display. I mean, that's the way it's always been though in the finals. Though you have one coach make his adjustments, see how it worked. You can either make or miss.
Who do you think is the better coach?
Erik Spoelstra. And I wouldn't say easily. I feel like his
He has that
coaching
more
style.
experience.
Yeah, and I feel like it's different. I don't know if put Erik Spoelstra in Mike Malone's shoes as opposed to Mike Malone in Erik Spoelstra's shoes. I don't think a lot of coaches can do what Erik Spoelstra just did, man. What I mean?
But I feel like with Erik Spoelstra, Erik Spoelstra is following a blueprint created by Pat Riley. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because remember, Erik Spoelstra, before he even became a head coach, the organization has like a film guy. So he's always been there behind the scenes. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like Pat Riley kind of molded him into becoming the coach he was, bro, today.
That's what.
Yeah, go ahead. I feel like Erik Spoelstra is he just reminds me of like a Steve Kerr. Like he'll take the tutelage of a great former coach and just mix it up with his own little style. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But see, I'm glad that you brought that up. But I feel like that's the difference with a lot of these franchises who believe in their coaches. They established a culture and they stuck to their guns. They didn't try to switch up and try to apply something different. Because look at what happened. Look what happened with the Boston Celtics. Last year, Boston Celtics were defense. Don't push defense, and you saw the results that came out of that. The problem was their turnovers. Now look what happened. Joe Mazzulla, interim head coach, what didn't expect to have the ball, and then this year, you see the difference in what was kind of the priority in their coaching styles. It was offense this year. Boston Celtics were shooting more threes than ever.
Too much perimeter. Yeah, too much perimeter sets, man.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, so the Boston Celtics did to themselves. Now, you're in a situation where you're going to have Joe Mazzulla might be in a hot seat for the first half of the season. He might.
I mean, I can see that.
So.
But they extended him. You know what I'm saying? So.
No, I feel you.
I don't think they would fire him after extension. You know what I'm saying? They extended him for like 4 years.
Yeah, and I feel that way now. Like even if they,
I feel like worst case scenario for them. I feel like Brad Stevens will have to step down and go back to coaching the team. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Brad Stevens.
I feel like that's what would probably have to happen if if Coach Mazzulla isn't the one. You know what I mean? I think they'll put
but Brad Stevens
assistant position again.
Brad Stevens was a hater, man. He fired the coach that did a better job than he did.
True.
You hear me? So how you gonna go back to the job, but you fired the guy who did a better job than you?
Well, the Brad Stevens didn't technically. Well, he fired Ime Udoka, but he's the one who hired Ime Udoka. he hired him as well. So
they basically fired him though by hiring Joe Mazzulla and giving him the extension.
No, I know, but they also hired Ime Udoka. Like, so Ime Udoka was his first choice. So yeah, they fired him, but the reason they fired him wasn't because of his play or his performance, or it's off the court issues. You know what I'm saying? That had nothing to do with the game. It's more a PR thing. They fired him because of PR, bad PR.
But it's how they handled it, though. You know what I mean? Like it's how he.
No, they handled it off. They handled it awful. But they handled it awful as an organization. I wouldn't just put that on Brad Stevens. I would say that's the Celtics as a collective. The Celtics front office as a collective. Because I'm pretty sure the final say so wasn't Brad Stevens' say so.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's the one who has to initiate the firing and the hiring, but the owners are the one who generally, like, you know, have the, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to that.
Yeah. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, because if you ask the team, they would have never fired Ime Udoka if you sit there and like left it up to the team.
Yeah.
Like the roster?
Yeah.
Ime Udoka would still be the coach.
Yeah.
And you could tell they made a mistake, clearly, by firing, removing him, whatever they did, allowing him to get interviewed by other teams. They made a mistake, bro.
Yeah.
That was clearly the wrong choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They should have found a different type of punishment, you know, for him and kept him in the staff, bro. Whether you know, half a season suspension, whatever. But firing him was not the thing. Huh?
Should they have a season?
Yeah, half a season and a hefty fine. You know what I'm saying?
Because it was
half a season without pay.
But to be fair, right? Because, you know, first off, the number one person you blame in that situation is Ime Udoka, right? He
100%.
You feel me? He didn't have to stick his, you know, he didn't have to do what he did. Let's just put it at that, right? He didn't have to do what he did. He could have found other outlets. There were other ways, bro. You got discipline. Yeah. You got discipline. You have to discipline yourself in a situation like that. Now, I'm not, you know, we're not gonna go back on that whole situation because we talked about that. I don't think it really even matters now. But but it was really just an arrow to the foot. That's how it looked at that time, and it looks even worse today because we seen it just happen. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They could have lost to the 76ers if the 76ers didn't flop. You know, if that situation didn't go down like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, shit, man. I have much more to say than to say, like, you know, they really just shot themselves in the foot.
Well, can I ask you another question, though, since we're on Ime Udoka? Do you think he did the right thing choosing the Houston job, or he should have just waited, or it doesn't really matter?
I think, I mean, it was hard
because, you know, if you would have waited, there was obviously a lot more, you know, lucrative opportunities out there. I would say.
Here's my thing about that, because AK asked me the same question. You know, you have to consider, like, you know, the PR look up. Right now, I understand. I don't feel like the Houston Rockets job was the best job for him, right? Clearly, you know, he could have been the head coach for the Bucks. He could have been the head coach for the Sixers. You know, he could have had a much more prestigious job and would have been successful in that situation. Now, giving, you know, the negative attachment to his name and likeness, right? You know, I felt like he just wanted to take the first job that was willing to offer him the job,
the opportunity, you know, to clean up his image.
So I felt like, exactly.
But still, though, even if that's the case, though,
and also
he's a rookie coach that went to the finals. I'm pretty sure there was going to be a bunch of teams lined up.
Yeah,
like whoever his agent was probably gave him the same advice you did. And the fact that every season, prominent coaches get fired from teams. You get what I'm saying? Like, he had the opportunity to be right back in a contending team by just being a little patient. And on top of that, him being a little patient and waiting a little bit would have also even helped his image even more. You get what I'm saying? Like, he lay low. You know what I'm saying? It's a recency bias. Everybody would have forgot about it. And then on And then, like, you know, we would have looked back and been like, oh, Boston just got destroyed. Now, you know what I'm saying? It would have just, like, Boston losing the way they did and everything makes Ime Udoka, even more valuable. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So if he would have just waited, like, and I'm what he did, like, I agree with you as far as, like, you know, take the first offer to, you know, to leave all this behind you. But then again, like, the first offer was definitely not the best offer, because now look at the teams that were available, bro. I'm talking about Philly, Milwaukee, Toronto, Phoenix. Like, bro, all these teams are amazing teams. I'm pretty sure he would rather coach over Houston. Like, no question.
Yeah.
Like, Nick Nurse, he jumped at the fact that I could coach Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
But see, here's the thing though. You know that, and you know that factors in. I mean, obviously it's a harder route, but if Ime Udoka can flip a team like the Houston Rockets into being a good team, then
he's definitely gonna get his next payday. Is gonna be a big one.
You know what I mean? So it's
both ways. It goes tenfold for sure.
Yeah, I mean, because with Nick Nurse, with coming into that job, bro, you coaching Philly, bro. So you already know there's expectations. It's a
lot. It's a lot of pressure. It's gonna be a lot of pressure.
Yeah, you know. So in we already know coaches are the scapegoats of almost every conversation when you're talking about playoffs. You know, like
no matter the stature.
Yeah, like they're always going to receive some of the blame in this situation. So, I mean, with Nick Nurse, right? Like with Ime Udoka, there's probably little to no expectations with him going into the season. But if they can come out and be energetic, you know, show energy, be aggressive, set tones, you know, and just play their game and be comfortable and play as a team, I think Houston Rockets could just at least make the year competitive. I don't see them being a playoff team. But that entirely depends on how they draft. You know, they're going to have to draft really well because clearly they're not getting the number one pick this year.
No, for sure. No, for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
because the number one pick is already picked, basically.
Yeah, it's already that's done data. It's
for San Antonio, right?
It's unsealed, delivered, bro. He already has a jersey. He's probably practicing with the Spurs right now.
I'm working out with the teams. I'm pretty sure he got to work out with the Spurs for sure. He probably didn't even work out with any of the other teams because it's just like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Why risk injuries when you know you're going number one here at this team? Like, there's no, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever team the franchise history will be destroyed by any media outlet for not picking Wemby first, just off the hype alone. You get what I'm saying?
But Steve, and I agree 100%.
If you're the team that picks over Wemby right now, it might be the best choice down the line, though. Yeah. It might be the better choice down the line.
For real. That's
you know what I'm saying. It might be the better choice down the line, like a Michael Jordan or something like that. But you know, like it's just that's a chance you just can't take right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are you picking Melo over LeBron in 2004? I don't think so.
Yes, indeed. I don't. No, I'll deal with that, bro.
I know you was joking because there's no. That's undeniable.
But I mean, drafts never really go down like that, man. Like, think about it. We talking about Giannis. Giannis and Jokic. They were second round draft picks.
That's true. But then again, coming into the league, Giannis and Joker were not the players they are now, though.
No,
let's just be honest.
Because the player development is obviously key. You know, he
it's key. You know what I'm saying? And like
it's not like just
Giannis was skinny. You know, Giannis was skinny. Joker was fat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they both had to work on a lot to be the players they are. And you know, getting drafted that low sometimes give you that grit. Sometimes being drafted number one, like a D'Angelo Russell or Julius Randle or Ingram, when you're these lottery picks, sometimes you're a little big headed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the undrafted players that really go the long haul. Like Tom Brady wasn't a lottery pick, and he's the GOAT.
Yeah. I mean, NFL is just it's just a draft.
No, it's different, but that's what I'm saying. But I'm just going to give you an example. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are cases out there where like lottery picks are flops, and then like, you know, number two low picks are like, you know what I mean? Sometimes generally could be stars. Like,
I'm not gonna hold you though. This lottery scenario though, it's always been weird to me in basketball why they do it, but I understand why they do it because you know you have teams like tanking and stuff, trying to be that number one pick.
Nah, for sure. Like having that number one pick could change that is the opportunity to change your franchise around. You know what I mean? When you're in the bottom bunch of the league, you know, getting that number one pick can change, you know, the whole outlook of your organization. Whether the player develops or not.
Yeah.
Like typically the number one draft pick sometimes sells seats though. You get what I'm saying? So if it's a highly touted player like a Zion, the cachet exactly alone could just, you know, give your organization enough, like, you know, from being bankrupt or something, or having to sell the team or something. Yeah, because like let's be honest, like certain teams, bro, don't deserve to be in the NBA right now, bro. Like Detroit, Orlando. Like certain teams just.
Man. Damn, Detroit. You doing Detroit dirty like
I mean,
that?
Detroit has some good history, bro.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll keep Detroit because Detroit has too much history, too much Hall of Fame players to like just shit on them.
Yeah.
But like, if you could take away a team like the Supersonics, bro, and remove them to OKC, come on.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, that was weird. Oh no, but there was like something going on with that in the background.
No, there was a lot of things going on with them. Yeah, and then like them picking OKC was like a whole thing. But I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand it.
Yeah.
And even before, like OKC was like a remember, like I don't know if you remember one of the 2Ks, like OKC was like the home team to like New Orleans or something like that. It was weird.
Yeah. And then New Orleans is being named the Pelicans. This is horrible.
Yeah, that was a horrible decision. That was a horrible marketing decision.
Like everybody was like, "Have you even seen a Pelican? I've never even seen a Pelican in real life." And that doesn't even flow. Like it doesn't even go together. It doesn't even have a nice.
Like, I don't even think that New Orleans have pelicans.
Look that up, bro.
Like, aren't pelicans a tropical bird? Aren't pelicans like in South America or something? I don't even know if New Orleans have pelicans, bro. Like, if that's even their natural habitat.
Yeah, we're not trying to sound dumb. We just legitimately asking though. Oh damn, they haven't been in Louisiana since 1966. So they say. The Pelicans founded. Wait, hold on. Recently new. Oh no, they were the Hornets. I'm tripping. Yeah, man. You froze though. Oh, Rick. But yeah, man, that's how I'm seeing it though. We I know we went a little off topic with the finals, but I mean we talked about a lot with the finals.
We pretty much covered the finals, you know.
Now
it's not really a highly touted finals, so there's not really too much to talk about.
No, for real. Like as far as, but now you're right though. This off season is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I'm looking more forward to the off season than the actual finals. So
have you seen the free agents?
I've seen a couple names.
Okay, I had the full list.
Okay.
Let me see. But We're gonna gloss over it now, but I'm gonna say that for another video though.
Yeah, that could definitely be another video. Yeah.
Let's see, because it was like all of them too. Had it on my. Oh yeah, but it's my favorite. All right, so let me just put it in Discord so you can see it. All right, Cindy. Pull that out in a sec. All right. You see that? I know it's hard to see. Right?
Definitely hard to see, but I can zoom in a little bit.
All right, it's in the Discord though. In case
All right.
you wanna gloss that in there. But basically, I mean, hey, if the audience can't see, because I kind of want the audience to see it. They matter too. I want nobody to see that. See, you looking at it though, right?
Yeah. I know. I see the list. Like I see Kyrie, James Harden.
You think James Harden goes back to Philly?
I think James Harden goes to the bag is at, bro. To be honest with you,
he goes.
I think he's gonna. Like wherever they're gonna pay him the most.
Oh, where the bag is at? I thought you were saying Baghdad, and I thought you said he was gonna be in like a foreign league.
No. He's gonna be like in Houston. Like I feel like I really feel like he's gonna go to Houston.
Nah, I believe it though too, man. Harden.
At this point, I feel like James Harden says, like, F winning, let me just get my money and then, let these guys figure out what they want to do.
Yeah.
But that just leads me to the point where, like, does Embiid eventually demand a trade and get out of Philly or what, Because they tried everything in Philly.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, Harden be doing these organizations dirty, bro.
What do you mean?
No, he did take a pay cut this year. And I felt like when he did it, I feel like he wanted for it to be known.
He did it. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did it in the sense of he thought it was going to get him paid the following season.
Yeah. And
like,
then
I pay cut to help you guys win.
Yeah, and I think they expected to actually go farther in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that they didn't, they're going to obviously go back on their. I wouldn't say they're going to go back on their word, but they're definitely not trying to give you max money if they know you can't take them to the over the hump.
No, hell no, bro. Harden, bro. The only team that I mean, I don't doubt that Harden can still ball though, man. I don't.
No, he could ball. He could ball. But the thing with Harden,
I'm not trying to.
You have to allow him to be Harden. You have to give him Mike D'Antoni, high octane offense, no defense, a bunch of shooters. Like you gotta build your team literally around his game for him to be for him to thrive. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think he meshes well with other superstar players. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
see, I disagree with that. I think he does fit with those players. Like I feel like
he did fit with Chris Paul. He does fit with Embiid. He does fit with Durant. Like his game fits with these players for sure. But it's like when you get a James Harden, like you can't fill up the rest of your team to be successful. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I think it's like a personality thing with Harden. I think it's like a thing where he wants to be like the guy.
But you can't be the guy and you go to other teams. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't go to Joel Embiid's team and think guy. You can't go to Durant's team and be like, oh, I'm the guy. Like your team was Houston. Maybe you could go back to Houston and do that. You know what I'm saying?
Like sometimes
get stars to come over and then maybe you're gonna be that guy back in Houston, but nah.
But that's the thing, though. Harden just I don't think he just was willing to accept that. Like I don't think he understood what it actually took, to win the championship. Like the sacrifices you need to take in order for you to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the path or the direction for him to take over was set in stone. I felt like it was right there for him to go out and grab it. They had 2 games to beat the Celtics. 2 games. You feel me? I mean, he got 9 points in a closeout game 7, bro. Like, come on. Come on, bro. And the thing about it is, though, you know what makes it even worse is like, I mean, I wish Josh was up here. He was trying to put all the blame on Embiid.
That's crazy.
I'm like, bro, don't get me wrong. I said the blame is 50. I feel like it was 40-40, and then the other 20% was Doc Rivers. But you gotta give James Harden just as much of the blame, man. And even then, there were some people talking in the backgrounds inside the 76ers organization that Joel Embiid wasn't at 100% with that knee injury.
Nah, he wasn't. Remember, he was playing through a lot of injuries that playoffs.
Yeah. So that was the formula for Joel Embiid to kind of like, set himself up as a decoy. And then James Harden for him to take over, man. But
like that one game, or those 2 games James Harden went off, we needed him to do that for the remainder of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Period. And there was no reason why he shouldn't, because Embiid basically carried them, throughout the whole season.
Yeah. It's sad, man. It's sad, bro. Because I feel like James Harden was in a position to win a championship. I feel like he was in numerous situations to win a championship. Other times, it could have been on the court. Other times, it just didn't work out. But you didn't even want to try to give the Nets situation a try. I don't even feel like
he bailed out. He bailed out way too soon.
Yeah, he bailed out way too soon. Like you still could have. I understand his frustration during that season, but bro, it's a long season, bro. It's a long season. Like sometimes teams don't even really get into their stride until the second half of the season. That's when Kyrie started playing again. So and then Kyrie played that whole series. So if
he played exceptional too. He played very well. Yeah.
So if James Harden would have stayed, we actually would have seen that team go on a playoff run. And the crazy thing about it is, even with him going to the 76ers, bro, they still lost in the second round.
Yeah.
They still lost in the second round. So you wasn't going anywhere farther than what you did last year with the Nets, bro. That's not how you chase rings, bro.
So you would have stayed in the same team. You would have still been in with 2 more stars, and you would have got a bigger bag, like a bigger paycheck, because you would have been in the team that you got traded for.
Exactly. I would have been like, you know what? If I was
like Harden, he's costing himself more and more money, like going from team to team.
In my situation, my thing about it is with Harden, he just handled it extremely poorly. Like my mindset on the whole situation, if I'm Harden, I would have been like, you know what? F Kyrie, he on his BS. Man, KD built like sandpaper, right? You know what? I want to win a chip. I'm a rod this season now, because he would have still been a free agent. He would have still been a free agent. So he still had that leverage. You know what I mean? I would have rolled it out. Go my all on this one. One shot takes over. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what this is looking like in this postseason run. You know what I mean? And then you can go to the 76ers And when during free agency. So he still could have did what he did. But then he put himself at a disadvantage because look now, right? He requested a trade, right? During his contract, while he was on his contract, right? So when he got traded, 76ers picked up his contract. And yeah, they wanted to give him an extension, but the question was, how much was Harden, how much he wanted to get. Was he going to get the max or was he going to get a full contract? I felt as if he would have been in a better situation to ride out the situation with the Nets, give it his all. And then I feel like if he were to go into free agency that postseason, that offseason, I feel like the 76ers would have given him the contract he wanted in the beginning of this season if he had stayed with the Nets after that postseason.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He handled it poorly, bro. He could have gotten his long-term contract in Philly if he had waited after that Nets postseason run. But that's not what happened. And that's why he was forced to take less when he got there, because they were so concerned about him, oh, is he going to take less? He always gets the max, this and that. And then Harden made it known. He was like, yeah, I took less. This is the off season for me, this and that. And he did the same thing he did every other postseason. And that's not to say he's not a great player, bro. Hall of Famer. Nobody forgot that James Harden was hands down, like Rick, when LeBron James in the 2010s was the best player in the 2010 decade, Harden was the best shooting guard in that 2010 decade. And there was no argument to be had. Oh, guess he couldn't hear me. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I think he just lost signal. But, hey, man, we did talk about a lot. I'm gonna still give him a chance to slide up in here. But yeah, man, if you guys are watching, like, subscribe, hit that. Oh, here you go. Like and subscribe, man.
Yeah, now I heard what you said about Harden being the best shooting guard at that era. 100% he was. They were saying he was the best shooting guard since Michael Jordan at that time, So
yeah,
for sure.
And nobody would take that. He was putting up ridiculous numbers. But what I always say is, man, like, you are judged based off what you're currently doing. What you've currently accomplished, not based off, nobody's going to be talking about all that other stuff, repeatedly and say, oh, you were this great. You were this great. You were this great. You were this great. Like, we have to consider the current situation at hand, especially when you're playing in the prime of your career. But hey, bro, you came here pretty late, bro. I'm about to sign off here in a bit.
Well, I just saw, bro. Who does it this early? You're supposed to do it at like 6, 7, not 4.
Bro, I got work I had to do at 6, 7. That's why I started early. That's hey, bro. That's why I said in all fairness though, that's why I say you got sometimes you gotta check the Discord. You don't be seeing the Discord messages, bro. No. Today I gave you today, bro. I put in a group in the Discord at like noon, bro. I said I'm gonna stream it.
Regardless.
Yeah. Wow. I even sent the link I think an hour before today.
Nah, maybe.
Look at it, bro. I swear to God I did, bro. I know I did because I even set up the event and all that, bro. Come on now.
All right. Well,
you gotta look at the Discord, man. Yeah, 210. That's when I sent the link.
Everyone's to blame, not just me.
No, I mean, Rick was on for. I mean, only Rick was on, but it was all good though. What? No, I said just Rick.
No tie.
Oh nah. He's of what you call it? I forgot. Well, I don't want to put his business out there, so but no,
Okay.
he's
But yeah, we gotta get like a good date and time, so I'll get my boys on too.
I mean, bro, you remember, y'all gotta let me know about what's good with y'all times, though. I remember I don't have y'all. Well, I don't have y'all schedule. I don't know when y'all open. You know, I don't know when Josh is free. I don't know when we're free. You know?
Yeah, but usually when we do it on like Fridays at like 6, 7,
No, I
that's
know.
like
No, I know, but that can't be the only day. If I'm trying to do it, and then that's the only day for me to do it with you guys. You know what I mean? Like, give me an alternative, because every Friday is not like a guarantee. Remember, I had class the past couple Fridays, so I couldn't stream at the time that I wanted to. You know what I mean? Like I was in school finishing class at 7, bro. Or school in class at 7. That's the reason why I couldn't do the Friday ones.
all right. Well,
You know, so if you could at least get like Josh or Will, to give you like, all right, these are my times for the week where I feel like this is good for me, and then that at least gives me some wiggle room, because I trust me, bro, I would prefer to have the gang be here when we have these questions and these conversations. So at least because even if I were to make a schedule, right, that would just be based off what I can do, but I don't know what everybody else can. It might not, my schedule might not fit everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, this is Cash Media. So hold on, let me close this off. Let me close this off, because you came in on live, and then we were having this whole conversation though. But thank y'all tuning in, man, on Cash Media. Y'all see us, y'all know what it is, man. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Remember, anybody can tap in. No BS though. Don't come on here with no BS trying to shit on my platform. But at the end of the day, man, we here. NBA Finals starts tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time. We ready to see it. All right. So y'all be easy and have a wonderful, wonderful day.